to you live from the Vegas Video Network studios, just steps from the Las Vegas Strip, it's golf and other four-letter words. And now your host, you've heard him on ESPN, Fox Sports, and Sirius XM Radio, Mr. Dennis Silvers.
Hey! I don't know why I did that. I guess Halloween is over. Hi, everybody. Welcome to yet another edition of Golf and Other Four-Letter Words right here on the Vegas Video Network channel. Hope you had a great Halloween. I gave out a lot of candy, so I know there's kids around my neighborhood that got a lot of belly aches. Saw some great costumes, so hope you enjoyed your Halloween. Glad to have you with us for the next action-packed, quick 30 minutes. We've got a wonderful show for you tonight. We got a really, really good guy, longtime friend of mine. In fact, without further ado, let me introduce him. He's a former UNLV Rebel golf standout. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Also played professionally on the PGA Tour as well as the Nationwide Tour. Took a little bit of a different track in life right now, but he's still a hell of a player. Let's give it up for my friend Jeremy Anderson.
Thank you.
How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you. Glad to have you. And what'd you do? Come from a funeral? You're all in black. What's up with that?
I'm channeling my inner Johnny Cash look.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, I like that. Let's take care of a little housekeeping right now. A lot of ways to get a hold of us, as you know. Email, real simple, golf@vegasvideonetwork.com. Okay, we've got live chat for you to send in questions, suggestions, whatever you want to do. Just go online at vegasvideonetwork.com, hit that live chat button, and boom, you are connected. And while you're on there, if you get a chance, check out all the other very cool shows seen exclusively right here on the network. Also, we got a toll-free line for you. It doesn't cost you a quarter when you're dialing us up. 866-966-4599. So give us a ring. We are also seen, as you know, on iTunes. We're also on YouTube. A lot on YouTube. We're on Roku television, I beg your pardon. And also every Friday night features on AM 1400 KSHP from 8 to 12 o'clock. They re-air all of the shows here on the network. And it's a good time. So if you get a chance, check that out. Okay, let's get right to our four-letter word for tonight, because that involves Jeremy. You're going to see why a little bit later in the show. And the four-letter word for tonight is kids. All right, there it is, kids. Why is it kids? Easy. Jeremy is involved with trying to get a lot of kids into the game, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, very shortly. And let's face it, folks, kids are the future of the game. Okay, you'd agree with that, wouldn't you?
No question about
it. And sometimes even adults, okay, believe it or not, like to act like kids on the golf course. You've done that. I've done that.
I still act like a big kid on the golf course and in real life.
And in real, that's good. Mm-hmm. That's good. Got plenty of time for being older. But, want to feel like doing kid stuff, why not? It's right out in front of you. All right, let's get going. Let's get to our first segment in the show, the first of three, and we call that Tournament Scorecard. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tournament scorecard. Jeremy, for the second week in a row, El Nino, Sergio Garcia wins over in Europe at the Andalusia Masters at Valderrama. Great golf course. Beating out a fellow countryman, Miguel Angel Jimenez, by a single shot. Sergio goes from number 31 to number 18 in the world rankings. Huge move for him.
It's good to see, too, because he's gotten a little bit of a bad rap for a long time, doing some childish things on the course, kind of being portrayed as a whiner. But he's a kid that, I've actually known since he was about 13 years old, and one of my favorite people. And is a guy that really went through a tough stretch, battling with the putter. And I can speak personally. I know what it's like to battle the putter, and it makes it difficult to really enjoy going out there playing because you feel a little bit defeated, and you can see that in his face when he would go out there and play. And So to see him right the ship, and he had a pretty solid year on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, he
but
did.
To see him go out there and win 2 weeks in a row, I think 2012 could be a really great year for him, and I hope it will be.
Well, obviously, it's great for him because his game is rounding into form, obviously. I think he had an advantage, if you really want to look at it that way, of playing in his own country. He had a lot of fans there and family there, obviously. And I've always enjoyed Sergio's action, and I think this is going to give him the impetus to carry over for the 2012 season. And I'm even going out on a limb, and I'm saying I think Sergio is a strong possibility to win a major next year.
I wouldn't bet against him. As long as he's making putts, he has a chance to win anywhere, because
he gets it around as good as anybody.
He still drives the ball and hits his irons as good as anyone I've ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's talk about the American Tour. Bo Van Pelt on the PGA Tour wins in Malaysia at the CIMB Asia Pacific Classic. And picks up a cool $1.3 million, moves from number 39 to number 25 on the money list. And ranking points, of course, his first PGA Tour victory, and it was a nice one for him to have. I think always a very underrated player.
No question. Guy I played against in college quite a bit, and a heck of a player. He... I think he's one of those guys that just sky's the limit. I think it was this year at Augusta. He had himself an opportunity to win.
Right.
And actually, I read a funny story that I don't know what kind of lead he had going into the final round, but I guess he woke up at like 4 o'clock in the morning and called his wife to find out how his Oklahoma State Cowboys were actually doing in their game. He's following because they have a chance to win a national championship. And
I love it.
Here he is with a chance to win a golf tournament, and he's thinking about his alma mater's football team. So kudos to him.
Yeah, you know what? That's good. Kind of takes the pressure out a little bit,
Absolutely.
keeps it together. And again, I think this is another guy. Now that the ice has been broken, so to speak, I think he's going to be a factor in many more tournaments for next year.
No question.
Yeah, he's a good guy. All right, I'll tell you what. Before we step away, take a short break. Let me just talk about one of our strategic partners. Been with us from day one, and of course I'm talking about Golfer's Guide. Jeremy's very familiar with it. #1 golf publication in the country. It's published regionally, does great articles on regional golf courses, places to eat, instructional events, the whole deal. They're very kind to us in that you could see on your screen right now, they stream golf and other four-letter words on their homepage. All you've got to do is go to their homepage, which is lasvegas.golfersguide.com. Check them out. You have a chance to pick up an edition, comes out quarterly at your local muni, private clubs, resort courses. They're all over the place. Do it. It's going to give you some real good information about the golf courses that you're going to play. So check out Golfer's Guide. All right, Jeremy and I are going to step away, take a short break. When we come back, we got a great segment for you. My favorite. We call that Birdies and Bogeys. Hang with us. We're back with you right after this.
Traditional media believes that after about 3 minutes, you'll tune out. Most Vegas media companies think if it doesn't jiggle, you won't tune in. At the Vegas Video Network, we think both are wrong. The Vegas Video Network is the first and only live online broadcast network that specializes in insider news and expert views about Vegas. We combine great storytelling with the ability to watch when and where you want on your computer, mobile device, or television. Discover the real Las Vegas. Visit VegasVideoNetwork.com.
And that great music. Welcome back, everybody. Golf and other four-letter words right here on the Vegas Video Network. Dennis Silvers, Jeremy Anderson. And we're getting to Birdies and Bogeys. We're going to get right through here. Transitions Optical is not going to renew their sponsorship, Jeremy, as what was known as the Transitions Championship in Tampa, Florida. And I understand that in economic times, this has been going on the PGA Tour, the Nationwide Tour, the LPGA Tour for a couple of years now. It's real tough for these people to shell out $5, $6, $7, $8 million, and they're looking for the return on investment, of course. But the thing that got me, and you're very familiar with this, the Justin Timberlake Shriners event, our very own PGA Tour stop right here in Vegas, wants very badly to take this tournament out of the fall series, okay, and get it into the FedEx portion of the PGA Tour schedule. And guess what? They were offered to step up to the plate, take over the title sponsorship of this event, and they declined. Birdie or bogey?
Well, as a Las Vegan, birdie, because we want to see this tournament thrive. We want to see this tournament become a great tournament again. You know, back in the early 90s, this was one of the biggest tournaments on tour. And, you know, I think it's kudos to them for believing in this city. And certainly they want to have this tournament as a part of the FedEx Cup because it has a much better opportunity to attract the higher echelon players on the PGA Tour. So I don't know the politics behind that happening, but good for them for not bailing and sticking here.
You know, I
and
get that.
with
They
us.
like Las Vegas. They said that they want to stay here, but I think it's a huge mistake. This was given to them. If I'm not mistaken, I think the world headquarters for the Shriners is right in Tampa. And, you know, this is a chance for them to get out to elevate the tournament. And sure, they love Las Vegas. And again, I'm down with that. I just think it's a big mistake. Because I think as long as they stay here, there's no chance of getting them out of the fall series. Anyway, Captain Fred Couples chose his close friend John Cook to replace Michael Jordan as the co-captain at this year's President's Cup, which is going to start in a couple of weeks in Australia. Jordan said he thought it would be better to stay home given the NBA labor dispute. And, of course, as you know, he's the majority owner of the Charlotte Bobcats. That was kind of surprising to me given his ego, but birdie or bogey?
Well, as an NBA owner, I would say it'd be birdie because his first priority is to the league and to his ownership of the Charlotte Bobcats. John Cook, great guy, great golfer, great golf mind. So I don't think they're going to lose anything in that regard. Maybe not as much fun to hang out with as Michael Jordan, but I think they'll be just fine down under.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's a plus because, you know, Michael Jordan, I really can't see what he brings to the table other than the genre and the cachet of Michael Jordan.
He's just Michael Jordan.
Yeah, he's just Mike. So Michael, hang out under the basket. All right. LPGA golfer Yanni Tseng, who's won 11 times this year. I think 7 victories on the LPGA Tour, 4 worldwide, is the #1 female player in the world, said that if the opportunity came up, she'd like to play with the guys in a PGA tournament. Like Annika Sorenstam did, if you remember, at Colonial back in 2003. And she wants to do it because she's not so much interested in winning, but she wants to learn from the guys. Birdie or bogey?
You can't fault her for wondering how she would stack up against the guys. And any tournament that wants to bring her on, there's a big argument amongst the players that they might be taking a spot away from a guy who's trying to play the PGA Tour, and I certainly understand that argument. I think there's a definite curiosity we saw with Annika Sorenstam as to how her game would stack up, and it seems to me like she's one heck of a player. I mean, to win 11 times on any tour, it doesn't matter where you are, is pretty impressive. Yeah. So if the opportunity presented itself and a tournament wanted to do it, I mean, they have the right to do it, and I'd be curious to see how she does. I'd be tuning in.
I would too. I think there's nothing wrong with it as long as it's like a once-a-year deal maybe. And by the way, to give you and our viewers a real update, the Puerto Rico Open, that is a tour stop, I believe played in March. The tournament chairman there has already said he is going to send out an invitation. He wants to give Yanni Tseng an exemption to the tournament. So we'll see what happens. I think that would be a good one for her to play in. I don't think the field's that strong in that particular event.
It's an opposite field event.
It's an opposite field event too. I think a World Golf Championship or something like that. So I bet you she takes it, and good for her. I'd like to see how she stacks up against.
You make a good point that once a year, once in a while, it doesn't need to be a regular occurrence.
That's right.
And she's earned the right as the best player in the world, far and away the best player in the world.
Totally has earned the right. Yeah, totally. Scott, we got somebody live chat.
Yeah, I think Bill takes the opposite opinion here. He says, turn on the mic. Okay. I think Bill takes the opposite opinion here. Bill says, can you name one woman who has played on the men's tour who's actually been able to compete?
Yes, I can.
Who?
Dave Saharias. Played in
that was
a long time ago.
That was when Dennis was in high school.
Yeah, played in 3 PGA. I went to school with her. Played in 3 PGA Tour events, and she made the cut in 2. Pretty strong.
That is
so.
pretty
There
strong.
you go. So I'm hoping maybe that if Yanni plays in this event, Bill, she'll be paired with another local Las Vegan, Dean Wilson. So that'll give him another thing
That's right.
on his resume.
That's right.
All right, let's get, we're a little bit short of time. I want to get to our next segment to help you, to help me, and we call that Handicap Helper. All right, welcome back, everybody. Handicap Helper, get a chance to get some free lessons from Jeremy, because Jeremy, even though he's not playing professionally anymore, is still a very, very good player. Gary's been practicing greenside bunker shots, Jeremy, but still leaving a lot of them in the bunker. What's wrong, he asks.
I think the biggest problem that golfers fall into is that they don't accelerate the club through the sand. I think most of them end up with a chopping motion or decelerate. They're afraid of the sand. You have to be aggressive through the sand. You have to be swinging just as hard at a bunker shot, a greenside bunker shot, because sand isn't exactly something that pushes the ball a long way. It's not like grass. So you've got to give it that extra, bit of speed at the bottom in order to just to get the ball out. And then you start working on distance control from there. But most people tend to decelerate.
Great advice. Exactly right. And he should know, because he was in the sand a hell of a lot of times when he played on tour. So,
this is true.
Edwin sends this email into the show. I have a very fast swing and need to slow down. Any tips or drills you could recommend that would help?
I took a little lesson from Johnny Miller when I was about 12 years old. And he said something on TV where he actually tried to say a person's name throughout his golf swing, just the first name and the last name. And I always remember the name that he used. For those of you who remember, she was like the #1 supermodel in the world back in the day, and her name was Cindy Crawford. And so he actually, on the backswing, used to say, Cindy Crawford, and that slowed him down.
That's a great little drill. A lot of people use...
Good thoughts, too.
Real good thoughts. Yeah, because a lot of people use Ernie Els, and I'd rather
Els is kind of a short one. That might add too much speed. That's a little too short of a last name.
But good advice. I hope that helps you, Edwin. Scott, somebody on live chat.
Yeah, Nate wants to know, can Jeremy describe the type of pressure there is when playing on a PGA Tour?
To describe it, no, I can't really do that. The most important thing is that once you've hit the opening tee shot, there's always going to be the first tee butterflies. But once you get into the round, then it just becomes another round of golf. Sure, you have a lot of people out there watching you, but we're taught at an early age to block out all those things, block out all those sights and sounds. Once you get through that opening tee jitters, and no matter how many PGA Tour events or nationwide tour events, or even if it's your club championship at home, you're still going to have those first tee jitters, and if you don't, that means you don't care, and you shouldn't be out there.
All right, that's very true, very true. Suzanne asks, please explain the difference between tempo and rhythm. Good question.
Wow, that is a good question, because I'm stumped.
Okay, moving right on, folks.
Sounds like the same thing to me.
Well, a lot of people do think it's the same thing, but I think I've heard it explained a number of times where people equate it, where if somebody has a fast swing, they'll have a smooth tempo, but their tempo will be quicker than somebody who's really more deliberate. I mean, it's a fine line between the two.
It is. I see.
I know you didn't have
very
a fast swing. You had a very
moderate
swing. Yeah,
I was very rhythmic.
You were very rhythmic.
Yes.
You were.
Yeah, it's one of those. I don't really see a big difference between the two.
I don't either.
But that's just my own definition.
All right. Anyway, I want to catch up on a couple of things, and I want to talk to you. We got just a couple of minutes left. You're on the board of directors for First Tee of Southern Nevada. You got a big deal coming up as far as your biggest fundraiser, Party for Kids.
Correct.
Originally started by Danny Gans, the late Danny Gans. Tell us real briefly about it. Where's it going to be played? Who's it benefit? What's going on with it?
Yes, I am on the board of the First Tee of Southern Nevada. It's a program that teaches golf skills, and it uses the game of golf to teach life skills so that, kids can go on and have a very productive and great life, and it's using the game of golf to do that. So this coming Monday out at TPC in Las Vegas is our biggest charity event. It's called the Danny Gans Party for Kids. And yes, it was started by Danny Gans, the late Danny Gans, and he was a huge supporter of the First Tee, and his family and his estate still is. So it's going to be it's actually a weekend full of events. There's celebrity clinics. There's going to be a celebrity poker tournament. It's really, really a great event, and it's for a great cause, and we need all the help we can get. So if you could log on to www.tftsn.org, see how you can become more involved, because we need all the help we can get, and it's really for the kids. It's for a great cause.
Now, I understand the tournament itself is sold out, which is great, but you got some spots for the poker tournament.
I believe we do, yes. The tournament is sold out. We do have some spots for the poker tournament. If you log on to our website, you can find out all the information that you need.
And you can always make a donation without even playing, to the First Tee. They kick anything. Let me just tell you real before we go home. Jeremy had a great college career at UNLV. He was part of the 1998 team that won the NC2A National Championship. He turned professional in 2000, and as I mentioned, played both on the PGA Tour and the Nationwide Tour. I hate to do this to you, but can you name your other team members that were on that championship team?
I can. It was Charlie Hoffman, Bill Lundy, Chris Berry, and Scott Lander. The five of us will be forever bonded from that experience. And I still say to this day, it's the greatest moment of my golfing career. It was the most memorable, it was the most fun, it was the most special because of what it meant for us,
right,
and what it meant for the university, what it meant for Coach Knight, and what it meant for this entire city.
Well, I was going to say what it meant for Las Vegas, and that's what all the shows are about on the network here. And, of course, Bill Lundy, as mentioned, just won the $1 million Kodak Challenge, so him and I are trying to get some money from him. And, of course, Charlie Hoffman is having great careers. And I just want to show you this. This is the head cover that all
Where'd
of
you get that? I don't even have one of those.
Well, actually, you gave me this cheap piece of crap.
Oh, wow.
I think after you...
that was your trick or treat from Halloween.
After you won the championship, so it's always been very prized. So, but anyway, congratulations. And you are briefly, as I say, you took another step in life. You're doing what now?
I did. I moved on to a new career. I'm now a financial advisor with the Rosenberg Group at Merrill Lynch Wealth Management, and it's been a great opportunity. I'm surrounded by nothing but brilliant, hardworking, good people, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
Yeah, that's great. We're proud to have you, man. Thanks very much.
You got it.
Great job.
Appreciate
welcome
you
back. Welcome back anytime, Jeremy. Jeremy and I are going to go out and play some golf one of these days. So. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of Golf and Other Four-Letter Words right here on the Vegas Video Network. Thanks for hanging with us. Hope you enjoyed the show. We're going to be back again next week. I promise. That's a threat. Same place, same time with another great guest. So hope you get a chance to tune in. Till that, fairways and greens, everybody, and take care. We'll see you back again.